Okay, so to get started in Command, I recommend that you use your Chrome browser. Command was built based on using the Chrome browser because it has the best integrations, um, and you're not going to experience any issues with Command, or much far fewer issues than if you were to use Safari or Internet Explorer or any other browser. Safari has the most number of issues with Command, so I recommend that if you are using a Mac to use Chrome. And once you're in the Chrome browser, go to agent.kw.com, and that'll take you to the Command login. You can also go to console.kw.com, but agent.kw.com is going to be the simplest way to get there. And I recommend that you save this as one of your favorites, since Command should be the platform that you are checking every single day to manage your relationships, your daily activities, and all of your contracts. So once you are at agent.kw.com, log in with your information here. This is going to be your same login information for eEdge and the KW Internet and any other KW login and your Kelly app. So just type in that login information here and click sign in. So once you are here, you are on the homepage. And we'll quickly do an overview of the homepage before jumping into our settings. So when you are on the homepage, you can actually customize this, and we'll walk through that in just a second. But this is going to be a brief overview of all the information that you have in Command to so that way you know exactly what you need to do that day to get started. So right here, you'll see in this box, we have tasks. And tasks are going to be, just what they say they are, tasks that you need to do that day or upcoming. So if you have a contract in Command, it'll let you know, oh, on this date, you need to do X, Y, Z tasks or activities. It'll also let you know, you can set up a task that says, oh, I need to work on a CMA for my listing appointment that I have this Friday. So that way, when you log in, you know exactly what you need to do that day. And it'll also let you know if there are any tasks that are outstanding. So if you forgot to do something on Friday, it'll be there to say past to do, finish, setting up your search criteria in FMLS or whatever you want. Then below that, we have goals versus actuals. And this is going to be based on the information that you add into reports, and this is going to be how are you tracking towards your business goals for the year. So that way every single day you can stay in your business and you know exactly what you've accomplished, what your goal is, what you need to do. So if you know, hey, I've only, this is all kind of made up based on a bunch of fake opportunities that I've created. But if you know, I've only done 19% of my goal for my GCI goal for 2020. I know I need to start doubling down on my calls, doubling down on my note cards, doubling down on, getting those appointments. So this is a way to help keep you accountable every single day. Have a quick question. Can you cover how we have tasks based on opportunities? Yes. I'm going to cover how we set up tasks based on opportunities. That's going to be towards the latter end of this morning's training, but we will definitely cover that. So this is the goals versus actuals. We jump into the report section in TCO2, but I recommend in the meantime you click around and play around in there. To the right here, we have design updates. Labs spends a lot of time and a lot of money creating all of our designs that we have access to, so that way we can create all of our marketing information, and you don't have to pay for any of those designs. You don't have to pay for any of those copyright images. So we want to make sure that you know exactly what's new, what you have access to, what's been featured. So if you're ever just curious of what's new in designs, here's a quick little widget. It'll let you know what's new there for you to check out, any new opportunities that you have to create some cool new marketing flyers. Then we have our database health comparison. And this is just to let you know what the health of your database is. It looks at the amount of information, the types of information that you have for each one of your contacts, with the goal being that you have 100% health of your database, knowing that each bit of information that we add in our database accounts for a percentage of that health score. And just to kind of give you a heads up of, you know, do you need to start asking your sphere for email addresses or phone numbers or their mailing addresses, which could also be a great touch as you say, hey, I just wanted to follow up. I'm updating my database. I saw I don't have your email address. What's the best email I can use to stay in touch? Boom, and then you've created a touch and you can get some more information about your sphere. Now, this is a comparison. So right now you can see if I look at my database health, it's at 50.3% healthy, whereas the agents in our market center are at a 52.8. You can see for each one of the major pieces of information how I compare to the office. You can also change that if you want to see how I compare to agents in my state, all agents in KW, and agents in production bracket above mine. So you can just kind of see how you are comparing to the other agents. And this is, just to keep in mind, especially as you're new in command and you start adding contacts, it's going to take you some time to build all that information up. So this is just a great way to keep track of your contacts in your database. To the right of that, we have product updates. Labs is constantly working on command, making updates based on the feedback that's provided from agents across the country, I guess across the world really, and making, troubleshooting any issues, is making updates, streamlining things, making things simpler and more intuitive. So this is going to be the place here to check out any new updates. I think the most recent update is the on-air button that I mentioned last week on team meeting. So anytime that there's a live training going on, there's an on-air button that'll be up here in the menu bar. And you can click on that and it'll take you directly to that live stream. But this here will tell you if there's been any updates to contacts. One of the major updates that's been supposed to be coming soon, which I think is starting to slowly roll out, is the export all feature for all of your contacts. It's been a big sticking point, especially as people make mailing labels for addresses. So keep an eye on that. And I definitely will keep everyone in the loop and share on the Mission Control Facebook page of any major updates that will impact your business. And then scrolling down, we have a note section. And this here is just a place that if you want to add a quick note, a quick reminder or something, it'll be here. It will stay here until you delete it. But just a quick place if you want to jot something down of, if you have a client that really loves Indian food, you can put a note here. So then when you set up your showings for this coming Thursday and it falls right around dinner time, you notice that, hey, there's this great Indian restaurant in the area that we're looking. Do you want to grab dinner and talk about the houses we just looked at? Quick little reminder there. And then at the bottom, we have recent leads. So this is going to be leads that you've either added manually or leads that have come through from a Facebook campaign or anything. So you'll know that these are the recent leads that you need to touch base with, build that relationship, put them on the 8x8 or any smart plan, and continue to build and establish that relationship with them. And then I also have here the playbook, which I'm not sure if everyone has it. I'm not sure if it's, I have it as a part of the leadership team for the office, but this is just going to be some quick information from the live streams about some of the big moments that are going on with KW. Now, you can customize this, and I told you about that just a minute ago. So up here in the top right-hand corner on the home page of Command, there's the Customize Home button. So you can click on this. And this will show you all of the widgets here on the left-hand side. Mike actually walked us through this last Wednesday on team meeting. But it'll show you all the widgets that you have available. And if, let's say, one you don't really care about, like, hey, I'm never going to use the notepad, you can unclick it and it will remove that from your widgets over here on the right-hand side. So if you want to have these in any specific order, let's say you for the most important thing for you is going to be leads. You can drag leads up to the top, and you have your tasks, your goals, database health, design updates, product updates. No, perfect. So leads at the top, click apply, and then boom, right here in the top right-hand side, it'll have recent leads. And this will show you all your new leads. So that way, when you log in, that's first thing you see is your tasks for the day and your leads. So you can go through, customize this any which way you want, and have as many or as few widgets included on your homepage as possible. But the goal here is to really make it so that way when you log on to Command every morning, which should become a habit of yours, that you know exactly what you need to do, who you need to talk to, and that way you can take that time that you would have in the past had to spend going through your to-do list, and you can jump right into being the most productive for the day. So this is the home page. Any questions on this before we go on to walking through the rest of Command? All right. So now we'll kind of start at the top of the page and work our way over. So the first button that you'll see here is Command, which is the system that we're in. This is really going to be our main CRM, our marketing platform, where most of our day-to-day activity will be within the Command platform. To the right of that is Connect, and you can click on this, and this will take you into the Connect system. Connect is really built to be more of that social media aspect of Command, a way for agents to connect with one another, share information, share new listings, open houses. Really think of it, Connect, to kind of be a replacement for KWFA Mission Control Facebook page. That being said, the build out of Connect has really slowed down in the last couple of months as Labs has focused on building out Command and making sure that everything is operating at its best level. So I expect in the next couple of months, probably the latter part of this year, Connect to really get a finished build out for everyone to use. Within Connect, you are a part of groups. You'll automatically be added to the Atlanta Sandy Springs group. So that's our market center, and then as well as the Southeast. And you can see here the total number of members within each one of those groups, and you can share content, questions, listings, anything that you want here. Let's say if in the Southeast, you're looking for a referral agent, and you want to ask a question. Hey, who do we have in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina? That's a great agent. You can post that in the Southeast group here, and someone will be able to get back to you. Over on the right-hand side, you can see welcome to the new Connect, and here is a link to kwconnect.com. This is a new Connect webpage. In the past, from the KW intranet, you could go to Connect, and that's where all the live streams would be. Here is where you go for the new live streams and everything that they've been talking about, especially during the Pivot series. Here's where you'll go to get to that information. I do believe all of those live streams have been recorded, so there's a library there for you to look at. So click here, and this will open up a new window. Just do that and show you real quickly. So you can see as it loads, our pivot shift ahead, and then the live stream, what's going on today. And then here is a calendar of the events that we have going on for today, for tomorrow, for the whole week. This is what Mike has been sharing on the Facebook page. So whenever you see Mike share, hey, here are your opportunities for live streams from Labs. This is it. And then here's the on-demand videos. So if you're ever curious as to if you missed something, you can look here. A couple of weeks ago, we had a lot of conversation about an agent out of Connecticut named Jessica who spent, I think, $850 and received $85,000 worth of leads. So that video would be on here, so you can search for that here as well as anything else within Connect. And then here's a bunch of additional resources. So this is how you'd get there through the connect button within command, right over here. And then if you have any pending requests or inbound requests for your referral agents or to connect with any, that would be over here on the right-hand side as well. So that is Connect. Definitely be on the lookout over the next couple months to see how we start to integrate Connect more into our communications as an office and as a region. And then I have Command MC, so that is something that I have access to as a part of the leadership team. So you will not have that in yours. Moving over to the right, if you are on a team, you will have a drop-down menu right here, and you'll be able to select between yourself and the team. So you can, switch between the two, especially as you're working with leads and distributing the leads. You'll switch between different accounts. You'll need to make sure that your team lead or your admin adds you to your team. And if you have any questions about that, let me know. And I'm definitely working on command as teams. So that way we can start to do some specific training for the teams in the office, since we do have a lot of teams and some really big teams as well. To the right of that, we have the marketplace. So if you scroll over it, you see the name marketplace appears. Marketplace, when you click on it, will open up a new window, but this will take you to all of the products that are integrated or can be integrated into Command. So there are a lot of systems and products that agents have been using that they really like to use. They still want to use, but they want to use Command as well. So let's say if you have a Real Geeks account or .loop, for instance, you can integrate those into Command and streamline them. So that way all of your contacts and everything automatically load into Command. So if you have anything here, you can come, you can search for the application here. You can click here and have a list of all the applications. Now, most of these cost money, but you can search through them. You can kind of sift through them to see, if you want to try to find something that's a little bit more specific. So this is where you'd come to add any application to Command, be the marketplace. All right. I'm just going to click on Command here. So that way we just have the Command background. So that was the marketplace. To the right of that, we have a bell. And you can see I have a red dot here. And the bell is going to be your notifications. So anytime you log on to Command and you have a red dot, that means that there's some information that you need to know. So I can click on here and I can see that my compliance event has been approved. So I had submitted an opportunity last week for compliance review, and I now know that we are good to go. If you are running a Facebook campaign, a lead generating campaign, and you get a new lead, you'll get a notification at this bell here, so you'll know with the red dot. You also get a Keller notification, so that way you can get that information on your phone if you're out and about, so that way you can touch base with that lead immediately. But this is where you'll go to double check any new activity that you have. Also, so you can see here, this is a text message from when I did the Twilio deep dive a couple weeks ago. So you can see here, if you'll get a new text message, boom, it's right there in your notification. So just to keep you up to date on any incoming information that you need to know is the bell here. Right here, you can see I have a picture with my name, and we have a drop-down menu for profile, settings, command training, and to log out. We're going to jump into all of that in just a second. We're going to jump into settings, but before we do that, to the right is a circle with a question mark on it. And this, I'm going to point out, and I want you to remember this, is going to be one of the most important and helpful items within Command. This is where you're going to click if you are having any trouble with Command, you need to submit a support ticket, or you want to look up a question, you want to talk with someone in labs directly. This is where you'll do that. So click on the question mark, and this is going to be help and information. We have 3 different options. The first one is going to be Keller Williams University. And if you click on this, a search bar will appear, and this will take you to a bunch of articles and step-by-step tutorials on more or less everything within Command. So if you want to, you're curious about how to import contacts, search import contacts, and it will give you a list of all the articles about how to import contacts. And if you want, all right, let's do add contacts to I'll just click on this first one here, import contacts into Command right here, click on it, and it will have a video, and it will have all the information, which will show a step-by-step guide of what to do. So anytime you have a question, you can search Keller Williams University, and this will be a great place for you to find information. I recommend that if you are having trouble with something, search here first. You'll more than likely find your answer, and then you can reach out to me if you don't. But this way, it'll save you a lot of time, so that way you don't have to wait for me to get back to you, because I certainly don't want to hold up your business, and I want to make sure that you have everything you need. So Keller Williams University is going to be a great resource for you there. Below that is chat with support. And if you're having an issue, or I ever say, hey, you need to submit a support ticket, it's going to be from chat with support. So when you want to chat with support, you just click on this, and theoretically a new window should pop up from the bottom. So let me try this again. I'm gonna try it one more time. Let's see. Okay, so that's not working. One of the benefits of live training. So when you click on chat with support, and I have no idea why it's not working. Let's see if all right. When you click on chat with support, a window from the bottom will show up, and a couple items will pop up, and it'll say, give you the options of submitting, of chatting with support. So if you want to chat with them live in that chat window, you can. Usually it'll put you into a queue. So say you are, the 5th agent in line to speak with a labs representative, or you can leave a message. I recommend leaving a message, and this will be submitting a support ticket. And you'll fill in all the information. There are a lot of boxes within that support ticket window. If you don't have any of the information, just put a 0 in it, because it will require all the boxes to be filled in. And then you'll get an email with a support ticket number. If you're ever having issues, you're not getting responses, you can send me that support ticket number, and I can escalate it. I can work with Hutch at the region to get that escalated and let them know, hey, this is really important that we get it taken care of. It's affecting our agent's business. So that is how you submit a support ticket here. So from chat with support, and hopefully it works properly on your window. And then last is post an idea. So if you have an idea, let's say you are clicking around in Command and you're like, you know what, it would be so cool if I could color coordinate all my contacts based on, these 3 things. You can post that idea here, describe it, and that will put it into a queue of ideas, and then other agents can go and see those ideas, and they can actually upvote your idea. So as ideas start to percolate to the top, labs will start to make those integrations, or potentially make those integrations into the system for everyone. So by all means, as you're playing around, if you think that labs can do something better, share it. Command is meant to be for all agents. It's built by agents for agents. So continue to submit your ideas. That way we can make the best system possible. So that is the question mark here in the top right-hand corner. Remember, it's Keller Williams University, submitting a support ticket and posting an idea. Always check the question mark in the top right-hand corner. If you ever are having issues with anything, it'll probably be the best and fastest resource for you. So that is an overview of the layout of Command. We talked through the home page, all the different widgets, how to customize it, as well as all of the items on the toolbar at the top. So now let's jump in and start actually setting up your command. So at the top here, you can see I have my picture and I have my name with a arrow. I'm going to click on that. And you can see we have a list of options here. I'm going to click on settings. And that is going to take us into our command settings. And here on the right-hand side, this is going to be all of our connected apps. So as I talked through earlier in the marketplace, if you want to connect apps or other systems to command, you would do that. And within our settings, you'll be able to see all of those apps that you've connected. If you want to add any more, you can click here, connect more apps. But I'm going to walk through the list that we have here today and make sure that everyone understands the difference of them and the benefits of having them connected. So the first one is DocuSign. I'm sure you've heard me talk about DocuSign almost ad nauseum, but that's because in less than 2 weeks, come June 5th, KWFA is no longer going to be supporting .loop as our e-signature platform. DocuSign is our e-signature platform of choice. Here is where it'll show that you've been connected. I recommend that if you have not yet connected or set up your DocuSign account, you do so as soon as possible. I have a handful of trainings on the KWFA YouTube channel, and I'll be doing more trainings this Friday, so that way you can get started in DocuSign. So that way come June 6th, you don't have any issues with sending any offers. Below that is Facebook post scheduling. Now I want to clarify that does say post scheduling. With this is what would allow me to schedule organic posts to be posted at a specific time. So let's say I know every Monday I want to post a market stat update. I can schedule that market stat update on Friday. So let's say this past Friday, the 22nd, I was like, you know what, on this coming Monday, I'm going to post a stat about the number of houses that have gone under contract in the last 2 weeks. Boom, I can create my post, add the image, and schedule that. So then Monday on the 25th, this past yesterday, that post could go live at 1:12 p.m. Perfect. It's not paid. It's only going to show up for my Nicholas Core Real Estate Group business page. But I'm able to schedule that. So that way, while I'm driving back from the lake yesterday afternoon, I don't have to worry about getting on my phone and posting it. Command will do it for me so I can sleep in the back seat. I don't have to worry about it. Next is going to be Porch. And Porch is a system that's integrated. It should automatically be connected for you. But that way, if you have any clients that need to get estimates for any repair work or updates to their home, or if you're representing the buyer, they need to understand what things may cost, Porch will be a great asset for you there. Just to kind of get some ideas of what things will cost as they're setting up their budgets and understanding their cash flow needs. Below that is Google Calendar and Gmail. So as agents, our KW email is through the Gmail platform. I recommend that if you are using Gmail, you connect both the Google Calendar and Gmail platform. And the benefit is that, as I show you in a few minutes, if you connect your calendar and your Gmail, Command will log those interactions and any email changes that you have with your clients, any calendar invites that you set up with them, it will log that in your contact timeline. So you'll be able to say, oh, I emailed this person on March 17th, and then we had a meeting, a coffee meeting on March 21st, because you had it on the calendar, and you'll be able to keep track and say, hey, it's been 2 months since we grabbed coffee. Let's set up some time for later this summer once it's safe for us to get together again, and boom. That way it's just easier for you to keep track of everything. Below that is Twilio. And Twilio is the service that allows us to send text messages directly from Command. So if you want to send out mass text messages, like Michael Bunch mentioned he had done on Mother's Day, you can do that through Twilio. Or if you start using smart plans, a lot of the smart plans have text messages as a part of the touches. If you use Twilio, it'll automatically send out the text message for you. I do want to add a couple asterisks about that. One is that it is a pay to play service, so it does cost you money. It is 0.0075 cents for every text message sent and every message received. So there is a cost there. Additionally, when you sign up, you get a free number that'll be an Austin, Texas number. It will cost you $1 a month to rent an Atlanta-based area code number. You are unable to use your personal phone number as your Twilio account. So just know that if you're going to send text messages to people that are close family and friends, they may be like, why am I getting a text from this number? Who are you? Why? What is this? I think Michael Bunch said it really well. You can always say, oh, sorry, this is my business phone, my business number, as a way to clarify. But just know that I think Twilio is a great service. What they do is they'll charge you $20, and then you'll have a bucket of $20. And then anytime your account goes below $10, it'll automatically charge $20 more. And it'll do that just to keep you full, so that way you can send and receive text messages and not have to worry about your account or any service or any campaigns or smart plans you have set up getting discontinued. So scrolling down, we have Twitter post scheduling. So similar to the Facebook post scheduling, you can do that for Twitter. I'm not a big Twitter user personally, so I don't have it set up. But if you are a big Twitter user, you can set up to have tweets go live at a certain time. If you want to post your market update on Facebook and Twitter, you can do that here through Twitter as well. And then scrolling down through productivity, eEdge. So eEdge is our old CRM system. It's actually no longer supported anymore. But if you wanted to have connected Command and eEdge, you could have brought in all of your contacts from eEdge into Command. I have a question, so let me pause for that. So question about DocuSign keeps showing as in progress, and I did it a week ago. Let's touch base after this call or after this training, and we can get your DocuSign set up correctly, because it just probably means there's a few simple steps you have to do, and we'll get it taken care of. But let's talk about that after this. So next is PieSync. So if you use a system that is not connected or integrated with Command, you can use PieSync as an API feed to get all that information from that external system into Command. So let's say if you use Boomtown, for instance, you could connect PieSync to Boomtown, and PieSync will import all of your contacts and all the information from Boomtown into Command. So then as any updates are made in Boomtown, it'll automatically sync into Command and vice versa. There is a fee for PieSync, and it depends on the number of systems that you use, the number of contacts that you have, and how often you sync. So just keep that in mind. That could be a great resource for you if you already have a large CRM set up somewhere else. And then below that is Office 365. So if you use Office as your email provider, you can connect, or as your email platform for your KW email or any email that you use, you can connect that with Command. So just like Gmail, you can keep track of all of your emails and calendar invites with your contacts within Command. It's very helpful, so I recommend that you connect that as well. So moving down into marketing automation. So this is going to be a little bit different than the post scheduler. So here you can see we have Facebook Ads Manager, and I've connected my account. This is going to be the connection needed to run paid ad campaigns through Command. So it'll be the same for Twitter and Google AdWords. So you'll need to connect these accounts. You do have to have a business Facebook page to set up an Ads Manager account. And there are a couple steps within Facebook that you have to take before you can fully have a business page and be able to run ads. So make sure that you run through all those steps properly. But once you connect here, you'll be able to select your business page. Because I know some agents that have, I think one agent has like 20 different business pages that she set up all under the same personal, it's a personal login, but uses your business account. So you can see here, it shows my name. So this is actually logs in through my personal account, but I do have a business page affiliated with that account. So that's why I'm able to have the ads manager connected. Again, I don't use Twitter, so I don't have that connected. And then Google AdWords is if you like to run a paid search campaign, you can run that through command. You'll need to connect that here. And if you ever want to run a paid search campaign, let me know. I'm happy to talk with you about that. It's a little bit different than running a Facebook campaign. And then at the bottom, we have our email services. So the first one is MailChimp. So MailChimp is going to be our HTML email provider. So think of it more as a graphic heavy email, something that you would use for a newsletter, or if you have a new listing, you'd want to use MailChimp. That being said, there are limitations with the free account that we get with MailChimp. So that is, we only get 2,000 emails, so 2,000 contacts that we can send emails to. And we are only able to upload one file. So we can only have one audience into MailChimp. So you couldn't break it down into, I want to have a separate email list for buyers, sellers, renters, or in-state versus out-of-state. You can only have one audience. So it does have a lot of limitations. You can pay for MailChimp if you want to. I've talked with agents that do use it at a very high level. So for them, the cost is worth it. For others, it's not. We do have command email, which should be automatically set up for you. To connect it, to manage it, all you need to do is click manage here. And then you'll need to type in your name and your reply to email and click save. And command email is going to be the email service that we use for all of our smart plans, as well as if you want to send offers for review from opportunities, it'll use command email. It is not an email service where you could go in and send individual emails to contacts. You would still need to use your Gmail for that. But if you want to set up a smart plan or send out a mass email through a smart plan, you could use this. So I recommend you set this up. It is free, and we get 5,000 emails a month. So if you want to set up the monthly neighborhood nurture, so that way you can start to have those monthly touches, set up your command email. One thing I do want to clarify the difference between MailChimp and command email, which is actually MailJet that we've kind of rebranded as command email, is that the reason we don't have an HTML email platform more heavily integrated into command is that a lot of those emails get labeled as spam from email providers. And we want to make sure that as KW agents, we are always coming from a place of service and adding contribution to our clients. So rather than having a traditional monthly newsletter like we've had in eEdge, like, oh, tips for spring cleaning or 5 things you should know about getting your roof replaced, we now have smart plans that provide hyper locally focused information about their neighborhoods that's going to be far more interesting and compelling to them than those 5 tips for getting a roof replaced. So the smart plans that we have now are more aligned with our clients' interests and wanting to know really specific information that's going to benefit them personally rather than just some broad information. So that is why we use command email and why we don't have necessarily those traditional monthly newsletter smart plans in command just yet. So any questions about connecting the apps? All right. So anytime you want to come back here, just go to the top, click on your name, and then click on settings, and it'll drop you right here into the connected apps. You can also go to command settings and applications, and that'll take us right here. So the next thing we want to talk through is contacts. And we'll just kind of work our way down the left-hand side. So we have contacts, contact archive. So if you ever want to archive or delete a contact out of command, you can't necessarily just delete it. You have to archive it. And that is set up to prevent you from accidentally deleting contacts. So if you put someone in there twice, or you're like, oh, I'm never going to talk to this person again, you can archive that person. It'll then add them to this contact archive list here. And then if you want to permanently delete them, you would select their name and you would hit delete selected permanently. Or you're like, oh, oops, I didn't mean to archive Erica. I can restore that contact. Boom, there you go. If you do delete permanently, it's not coming back. It is gone forever. But it's just a fail-safe, so that way when you're making updates to contacts, adding them, you're not accidentally deleting them. You can always find them here in your archive. The next is database wipe. So this is very similar. And now let's say you uploaded a CSV with all of your contacts, but there's a huge issue. Things are mislabeled. Things are really messy. And you're like, you know what? I need to just erase all the contacts and start over. You can archive all contacts. So to do that, you would click archive all contacts here, and that would archive them. Then you would come here and select the delete all archived contacts. So this is going to be the double step, a two-step process to make sure that you really mean to delete these contacts. And then you delete contacts, and that would wipe your entire database. I do not recommend this if you've spent a fair amount of time setting up your database. If you want to delete lots of contacts, I would recommend that you go through and do it one by one, unless you're still in the early stages of setting up your contact list. But do know that you do have the capability, and it is a two-step process. The next is going to be custom tags. So we have custom tags, and we also have custom fields, and they're similar, but not the same. And custom tags are going to be used for organizing your contacts, which is going to have a real benefit when it comes to marketing. So if you want to organize your contacts in, buyers, sellers, how you know them, like sphere, college friends, former coworkers, referrals, you can start to make all of these specifications to break down your database into smaller chunks. So let's say one of the great examples I really liked when Hutch taught this class was that he would do sports teams. So let's say if you have some contacts that are huge Atlanta Falcons fans, you can create a custom tag, Atlanta Falcons, and then anytime the Falcons win, you could send out a mass text, say, that was a great game, go Falcons, whatever. Same thing for, college football teams, baseball teams, soccer teams. It's just a great way that you can organize your contacts, and that way you can provide really specialized information to them. You can add as many tags as you want. You can have as few as you want. I don't think you can have too many. So if you want to create a tag, you can click here and create a new tag, and this window will pop up, and you can start typing in whatever you want. So former college classmate. And then if you want to give it a specific color, you can select that here and then click create. I'm going to click, I don't want to add that one because I do have a bunch set up. But I will show you later on in the contacts field that if you are adding a contact manually, you can create a tag directly from a contact page. I also want to show you here that we have two different types of tags. We have contact tags, which is going to be used for organizing those contacts, really beneficial in marketing. But then we also have opportunity tags, and these are going to be different. They do not communicate together. But opportunities are going to be once you're working with a buyer or a seller, you have that opportunity set up. This is going to be really beneficial for you to tag them. I like to do it, part of town, how I know that person, and price point. And this will be great for you once you're kind of towards the year's end. You can look to see, okay, of all the business I closed, what was my most popular price point? Where was my business coming from? Was it coming from spheres, a referral, or paid leads? What part of town did I do most of my business in? So it's a great way to kind of help you reflect on what you've done this past year, so you can set up your business goals for the next year. So just keep those in mind. You can never have too many tags. And again, similar to the contact tags, you can add opportunity tags directly when setting up an opportunity. The next is going to be a custom field. Custom field is different than tags because tags is going to be a way to organize, and custom fields is going to be about adding a piece of information that you are going to want to know about that contact. So for me, I added wedding anniversary as a custom field because I think it's beneficial. If someone shares on Facebook, oh, happy 10-year anniversary, I can then add their anniversary date so I know next year to send a card the week before their anniversary that says, happy anniversary, wishing you to 11 wonderful years, whatever. You can set up as many custom fields as you want. You can set it up so that way it could be a date, it can be text, it can be whatever you want. So if you want to add a new custom field, you do have to do it in this settings portion of command. You are unable to add a custom field directly from the contact card like you can a tag. So if you want to create a new custom field, click on the create custom field button here. You can name it. Let's do college graduation date, graduation, and then custom field type. And this is where you can select the type, how you want the information to be input. And I'm going to select a date. The reason I want to select a date because it'll give me the choice to select month, day, year. So that way it'll always show up at the same time. But you do have the option here if you want a text field. So if you want to type in specific text or text area, a drop down. So if you want to have a couple different options, you can put in those options. So if we did drop down, and then we would add drop down options. So we can do option 1. So we can do, I'll just do May, and then we can do June. This is just pretending if I were going to add a college graduation drop down. So that is how you create the custom field. Now there is a box here that says make default custom field. And what that means is if you want to make this custom field show up on every single contact card. It doesn't mean it has to be filled in, but you don't have to manually add it to each contact. So if you know that you want to add every single person's college graduation date to their contact, click make default custom field. It'll save you a lot of time, and it'll also be a reminder that you want to get that information. So for wedding anniversary, I do have that on every single as a default field because a lot of my contacts are married. So it's just easier to have it already set up. All right. So that is custom fields. Any questions about custom tags or custom fields, the difference between the two or how you would use them? All right. So continuing down our list of settings, our next one is going to be opportunity archive. So opportunities are going to be once you start working with a client, a buyer or a seller, and you start to move them through that sales funnel from becoming a lead to all the way through closing. But sometimes we lose those clients. Sometimes they change their mind, things that work out how we want them to, and we lose that opportunity. we don't delete opportunities, we archive them. And once you archive them, it will take it out of your list of opportunities. So that way you can just really focus on your active opportunities. But let's say for something, you know, in a year, 6 months, they come back and say, hey, okay, now we're ready to buy again. You can restore this opportunity. So I can come here and I could restore this opportunity. And then boom, I don't have to create it all over again. You're good to go. And also, let's say if someone comes back and they're like, hey, I have a question about that document that you sent 2 years ago when we bought this house. You can come here, restore it, and go through all of the documents there, and you're good to go. All right, the next is going to be opportunity settings. So not a ton of work here. Design templates. So this is being worked out. This is going to be that way, a design so that way as you're working with your contacts and opportunities and sending them offers to review, you can have it set up in a certain way. This is still being built out. Next is going to be agent sites. A lot of this information is still being built out as well. So my neighborhoods. So if you want to add a list of the neighborhoods that show up on any of your marketing profiles of areas that you are an expert in, you can add those here. So select neighborhood. But this does get pretty granular. So if you wanted to type in Midtown Atlanta, it doesn't necessarily have like a Midtown, but you could type in, you know, Morningside. And then here are the neighborhoods. Again, this information is going to be pulled from Nextdoor, similar to all the other neighborhood information. So find the best ones that work well for you and add those there. Landing page. So this is going to be if you have a landing page link. So when you make a contact, you add in their neighborhood, you can send them a landing page that they can just save and click on, and it'll automatically update information. You can go through and just make a few changes here. Really not much to change, but this just kind of pulls in a lot of the information from your marketing profile. But your real option here is to change it from the dark setting to red setting to blue setting to dark. So you can kind of make whatever changes you want. These are still being built out. A lot of this information will probably be in the next couple months as it gets more popular. The next is going to be team data. So if you are a rainmaker, a team lead, or you're a member of a team, this is where you'll add in that team information. And let's say you're the rainmaker, you name your team, a quick summary about your team, and then down here is where you would add team members. So you would need to add them. So that way they would have access to the lead pool and all the information that comes along with being a member of your team. And then below this is import logs. And in my logs, this is just going to keep track of all the times that you've imported contacts. So if you have imported CSVs of contacts, or you have, you're using PySync to sync your contacts to another CRM, this will keep track and let you know exactly what day these contacts were added, how many contacts were added. So that way, if anything happens, you can come back and you can double check the file to see why some contacts were potentially mixed up or messed up, and all the information is right here. The next is going to be our connect settings, and then we'll select marketing profile. This is really important that you fill in your marketing profile, because your marketing profile information is going to be pulled into numerous other aspects of command. So whether it be landing pages, your agent website, your app, any of the neighborhood pages, all of that information that will show up about you, your picture, your logo, your bio, all comes from your marketing profile. So it is very important that you set up your marketing profile. That being said, right here, you can see there is a toggle and it says, use my information to brand my agent site. You want to make sure that you click that toggle so it shows green, which is allowing Command to use this information in your agent site. So this will allow Command to utilize this information across your site, your app, landing pages, everything. So make sure you've selected that. There is a marketing profile Kelly guide, which is going to be step-by-step process of setting up your marketing profile. I'm going to scroll down and we can walk through everything step by step. It's just a little bit easier and takes less time. And I've already set mine up, so I don't want to go through and make any changes. So starting at the top, we'll want to add our profile picture. You'll see here, it says that it's a recommended size of 360 by 360 pixel. That is to make sure that it renders properly within this circle. So you can see here, I have my photo and my team logo, both are 360 by 360. If you add an image that is not 360 by 360, it'll probably get stretched and pulled and look a little wonky. But if you use the square 360 by 360 pixel image, it'll show up perfectly. If you don't have an image that's 360 by 360, which I imagine you probably don't, there are two ways to do that. One, you can go into designs within Command and you can create a new image and set the pixels to 360 by 360 and you can upload your image there and do it that way. Or you can go into Canva and you can create a new image there, set dimensions to 360 by 360, upload your picture, perfect, good to go. Either or works fine, but I do recommend that you upload the 360 by 360 just to make sure that your picture looks perfect on every piece of marketing and touch point that you have with clients. It's going to be the same thing here for your team logo. So if you have a specific logo for your business personally, you'll add that here. Again, Mike mentioned last week or the week before that Greg has made some updates to the naming conventions that we're able to use for marketing. So just make sure that all those things are compliant. You run any team names by Lynn and Alita to make sure they are good to go. Because over the next couple months, we'll start to enforce those. And I don't want anyone getting any fines because of that. So I know I need to make updates to mine too. Scrolling down to my details really is pretty simple. You just want to fill in all of your information, your name, last name, license number, your team name, professional title, designation. So if you've gone through and received any like buyer specialist, listing specialist, pricing specialist, any luxury credentials, you'll want to add those there. Just that way, you know, as your name shows up across your app and website, those automatically load. So clients know that they are working with an expert and a specialist in those areas. And then below is a bio. This is just a super quick bio that I wrote a while ago, but paste your bio here. There is a character limit, so make sure it is condensed. It's that way because you don't need to have a 3-page bio on your app to scroll through. You want to make sure it's pretty quick and to the point so people know who you are, what you're about, and they'll be good to go. And then below here, add in all of your contact information. So your mobile phone, an office phone number, fax number, and then email and website. And then below here is going to be our market center information. So similar to our headshot and our team logo, we'll want to add a 360 by 360 version of our KW First Atlanta logo. If you do not have a KW First Atlanta logo, I will show you exactly where to get that. So if you go to rawlsgrouphelpdesk.com, Scott Hardy has already put all the logos for all the market centers here. In the top right-hand corner, click on downloads and then click market center logos and just click on First Atlanta and you will download a zip drive with every version of the First Atlanta logo, full color, black and white, JPEG, I think there's a Photoshop version as well as a PNG version that doesn't have a background. So all of your logos are right there. I recommend using those to make sure that you have the right one and you have different options. Because sometimes the all white one looks better. Sometimes the grayscale one looks better. So find whichever one you want. And this is at rawlsgrouphelpdesk.com. So similar to how we created the 360 by 360 image for our headshot and team logo, you'll want to do the same thing for the First Atlanta logo to make sure that it shows properly within the circle here. And this will be pulled in across site, app, landing pages as well. And then fill in your brokerage information. Most of this will be automatically filled in based on your affiliation with First Atlanta, but just double check it, make sure everything is correct. Because as you build your website, we want to make sure everything is compliant, that the clients and visitors to our website have all the information that they need, and you don't receive any fines for being out of compliance. And then scrolling down, legal footer for compliance, I just put Nicholas Core Realtor with Keller Williams First Atlanta, just to make sure that I had my name on there again, as well as Keller Williams First Atlanta. Each office is independently owned and operated. It's automatically on your profile, so you don't need to add that. And then as far as I know, there are no other text compliance footer text that we are needed based on GREC's regulations. And then if you want to add any links, so if we need a link to go to a specific website, if you want a link to GREC, you can add that here. If you want to upload any images, so if you want to upload the equal housing, realtor logos, you can add those here as well. And then below here is going to be our social URLs. So if you want to add links to your Facebook pages, your Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, you can add those here. And those will show as icons across your site and app. I don't use Twitter or YouTube really personally, so I haven't filled those in, but I do use Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So fill those in, and that way, when you're creating websites or landing pages, you don't have to worry about adding those links every single time. They'll automatically be there because they're part of your marketing profile. Scrolling down, we have Facebook Pixel and Ads and Google Analytics IDs. So if you are really into paid ads and tracking people and retargeting, then this will be benefit for you. So if you want to create a Facebook pixel, that way you can track people that have visited your site and have come from an ad, you can set that up here. It's really detailed. If you have questions about setting this up either for Facebook or Google, let me know and we can walk through that process. But this is only necessary if you are using Facebook and Google ads at a very, very, very high level. And I'm talking like thousands of dollars of spend in ads. And then the last item is going to be your branded KW app link. If it's not pre-populated, I can show you at the end of this call how to get that link. It's going to be in the consumer applet. You need to make sure that you have your specific branded link because every agent has their own link. So make sure that if you share that link with the client, it'll automatically be branded to you and they don't have to go through and search your name. So you want to make sure you add that here. So that way, as you go through and set up landing pages and your agent website, everything is included there properly for you. All right, so we have finished going through all of our settings. Any questions? Because we just talked through a lot of information. Talk through the home page, talk through the difference between command and connect, marketplace, the notifications, went through settings, connected our apps, add custom tags and fields, and even set up our marketing profile. So we're going to jump into adding contacts in just a moment, but I want to just take a quick pause to see if there's any questions, anything I can show you again, anything that you need more information on, let me know before we jump into contacts. All right, okay. Well, we are going to jump into contacts. So your contacts is probably going to be one of the most important and probably most heavily used aspect of Command. It's where we're going to keep all of our contact information and notes about our database. So to get to contacts, you'll scroll over here to the left-hand side and scroll over. It's going to be the second icon down, and when you roll over, it lets you know you click. It is the contact, so just click here. So when you come to the contact page, I've already added a bunch of contacts, and I'll just do quick overview of the page. So at the top here, we have our import contacts. So if we want to import a list of, I think, up to like 5,000 contacts at once, you can. If I want to manually add a contact, I would click here, and I could add contact one at a time. I can come over here and I can search. So I can just, I'll just type in my name. And then here you can see, here's my contact. Now, when you search, you have different options to search. So you can search first name, last name, email, address, and everything. I personally try to select first name when I search, because I have found that if I search everything, and there are some names that I have a lot of, like, let's say, like Jessica's, I have like 15 Jessicas, but when I search everything, only like 7 Jessicas show up. So I don't know why. So I always recommend, if you search first name or last name, just to make sure that it is looking at, that Command is looking at the right fields of information when searching. To the right is filters. So if you have a lot of contacts and you want to go through and you want to filter and you want to find, this is a specific group of people, you can add a bunch of different filters here. So you can filter by all contacts or leads only. So leads are different than contacts. Leads are going to be people that you are actually building a business relationship with. So if they come through a Facebook ad, or let's say you meet someone at a party and they're like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about, buying a new home in 3 months, and you want to add them to your Command, you would want to add them as a lead, because you are going to get to know them in a business, as a business relationship. So you can go through, also filter through all of these different items here: system tags, custom tags, company, lead source, modified, birthday, neighborhood, all sorts of information. Probably the most popular filter source is going to be your custom tags. And so I talked to you about that earlier, about having to use using custom tags to organize your database. And this is going to be one of the best ways to do it. So for me, I live in Smyrna, so I created a custom tag of Smyrna. So I can click on that and now hit apply, and it will show all 44 people that I have in my database that live in Smyrna or are interested in Smyrna. So if I want to send out that's anything specific to Smyrna, like, oh, hey, this coming June 1st, Smyrna is going to do a big event, I can send out an email or a text message, or I know, hey, these are the 44 people I need to call to invite them to this Smyrna event. So that is how you filter. And then if you want to remove the filters, let's say, okay, I'm done with everything Smyrna, you need to click on filters again, and then click clear all, and then apply. And that will remove the filters. And then to the right of that, we have Smart View All Contacts, and then you can kind of change your view if you want to. So I can look here. So these are the people that I have in my database that I selected no neighborhoods. So these are the people I need to go in and add an address for, or add them to add a neighborhood for them. So I have 994 people I need to add neighborhoods for. You can also do sort by campaigns, which I don't really have a lot of those set up, and who should I call. And this will let you know, based on the last time that they were contacted, who I need to call. So it's just a great way that you can use these just different ways to break down the information of the contacts to help manage who you need to reach out to, who you need to add neighborhoods to, so that way you can more comfortably manage all the contacts. So I'm going to go back to Smart View All Contacts. And scrolling down just a little bit here, you can see we have all the different columns set up for how we view the information. So we have name, last visited, last contacted. These are tags. Stage, so if it was an opportunity, phone number, email, and updated. You can customize these columns by clicking here, Customize Columns. And then you can select which of the columns you want to have that appear. So let's say if I want to add date of birth, and then you can move, I can move date of birth up, and then I can click apply, and now it'll show birthday. So if I wanted to, I could organize by birthday, sort by birthday. So that's how you can customize, because for some people, last visited isn't important, but primary address may be important, or wedding anniversary, so that I can add that column, because I added wedding anniversary as a custom field. So you can personalize the order of the information and the order of information that you see on your contact homepage. And then right now we are looking at it as a list view, but you could also look at it as a grid. And this is going to show a little bit more information. So that way you can see here's name, phone number, email address, all the tags for contacts. So you can just toggle back between those two. And then over here, it'll say, it show 1 through 10 of 1386. If I click on the show 1 through 10, I can then select 50 contacts. So I can show up to 50 contacts on my page at one time. So scroll down, see lots of contacts. And then you can click the arrow here to go to the next 50. And then if I click on this arrow to the right here with the line, that'll take me to the last page of contacts. All right, let me come to the front first and list view. So now I'm going to show you how to manually add a contact. So up here in the top right-hand corner, click Add Contact. And then one of the great things I like about Command, and you'll see this, right here within adding a contact, but basically in everything in Command, if you just start at the top and work your way down to the bottom of information, it's really step-by-step, very simple process. So let's add a contact. If you haven't added yourself as a contact yet into Command, I recommend you go ahead and do that now. So I'm just going to start making a contact. So I'll just add myself, Nicholas Korb, email address. I'm going to just type in my email address. And then one thing I want to talk to you about is earlier when I talked to you about the health score of your database, it's based on the information that you add for each contact. So each bit of information that you add has a specific percentage. So their full name, their email address, their phone number, and their property address all equal, each one is 20% of that health score. So if you add all 4 of those pieces of information, you'll get an 80% health score. Custom tags, birth date, anniversary date, social media pages, each one of those is an additional 4% of the health score. So I'll show you once we create this contact how that is affected. So let me rename this. I'm gonna put, just so I can keep this different from my other one. So I do want to show you, okay, so phone number, let's add that, 404-414-8238. Select owner. So if you're a single agent, you don't have to worry about this, but if you're on a team and you're adding a contact into the database, you may need to put the team leader as the owner or someone else within the team. Now we have tags. So here, you can see here's a list of all the custom tags and all tags that I have. So I can start to select, if you just type in the information, so I'll select Smyrna. I've also added colleges in here, so I'd add UGA. I added Sphere. I also added former, let's see if I can type properly, former classmate. And then let's say I want to add one in here that says Sphere, because this person is really close personal friend, and they're really in my direct sphere of influence. But you can see I typed in Sphere, but I don't have a custom tag yet for Sphere. So when I type that in, it gives me the option to create custom tag. So that's what I was saying earlier. If you're going through and you're adding your contacts in one by one, and you're like, oh, I want to add in this new tag, you can do that directly here through the contact card. So all you do is click create custom tag, and then you can, if you want to select, color here, you can give it a color, or you can just leave it blank, and then you'd click add. And then there you go, it would show up. So I've added a couple custom tags here. Now I'm going to select add more information. And then we'll have a couple drop-down menus, and we'll just start at the top and work our way down. So additional contact information. So if they have more than one email address, let's say if they have a work email address and a personal and a work phone number, you can add that here as well. So that way, if you ever get a bounce back from the first email, any information can be resent to the second email. The next is going to be their address, their home address. So you'll want to add that in here. So I'm going to type my address in here, 33 Dunn Street. And when you type it in, a list will automatically pull out of Google Maps. So you just select their address here. Perfect. And then if they have an apartment or a condo, you'll want to add in the unit number here. And then if this is their personal home and their mailing address, click the same as mailing address. That way, whenever you go to pull any mailing tags, everything pulls in correctly. And then if they have any social media profiles, like a Facebook profile, you can paste their URL here. There are a handful of social media platforms that you can select from. I mean, Snapchat, House, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram. I recommend adding as many Facebook profiles as possible, because if you ever want to create a custom audience for a Facebook ad, you need to either have their email address or their Facebook URL to link that person from your database to a Facebook profile. So I recommend adding their Facebook profile here, and you can add more than one. So if you want to add their Facebook, click add profile. You can then add Instagram, and then you could add, so let's say add Instagram, and then we want to click add Twitter. So you can add as many as you want. And you get 4% health score for each social media profile that you add. Next is going to be about. So here you can add their birthday. So I'm going to add my birthday in here, March 14th, 1985. So don't forget my birthday next year. It's Pi Day. And then home anniversary. This is going to be really beneficial, especially for past clients. You want to keep that information here because you can't add them to a home anniversary smart plan. So we can send a reminder email or text and remind you to give them a call to say, hey, congratulations. It's, we closed on your house 1 year ago today. You may even want to do a pop by or something to celebrate that 1 year anniversary. So add in their home anniversary. And then if they have any relationships, you can add them here. So let's say, I'm just gonna, I can type in Alex and it'll automatically pop up. Let's say if I want to type Alex Smith, the second, it doesn't show up. So let's say there are no options. I can click add here, and that would actually add Alex Smith the second as a new contact within Command and link it as my spouse. So you can set that up so you can start to add in spouses and different relationships. So if you have a contact and you are friends with that person's mother and their sister and their husband, you can start to connect all those people so to make sure that all the information you're sharing with each of them is cohesive. Then down here, oh yeah, so like I said, you can add multiple people. So you could click add relationship here, and then we could do son, add another one. You can add grandchild, like whatever you want. So you can add a lot of relationships in there as well. So just to help keep everyone connected. The next is going to be work. So again, this will be 4% of your health score. So if you want to type in company, so let's say you're adding a company and it doesn't load in there, you can create company. So I don't have KWFA, so you can just click create company, and then it would ask you for the company address and that person's job title. So type in realtor. So now when I click create on this contact, KWFA will become a new company, so I can easily add them to any future contacts. Here's their job title. If you want to add in their work address, you can. That may take a lot of time. May not be the best use of your time, but you can. Next is going to be sales pipeline. So this will just kind of be, if the stage, if you capture them or if you connected, and then lead source. So here's a list of lead sources that have been provided for you. There is a workaround. So if you want to have specific lead sources, I can show you how to add those by importing contacts, and I can show you that in just a minute. And then the last is going to be custom. So these are going to be the custom fields. So you can see when I select a custom, wedding anniversary automatically shows up and it says it's default. If let's say I wanted to add another custom field, I would have to select it from the drop down. And I don't want to have to do that every time to add a wedding anniversary for every contact. So that's how it shows up as default. But if you had other custom fields you want to add, you would select it from the drop down here. Now, I'm not going to fill in the wedding anniversary because I'm not married for this contact, so it doesn't matter. And then once you're good to go, just click create. This email is in use by another contact. So let me just come over here. Let me just change this. So that's a good point that it points out. You can only use an email address one time within command. Email addresses is how command distinguishes separate contacts in the system. It's not by name, it's by email. So that's why it's not going to let me use my email again twice. So I just made a quick little change and I should be able to click create. Perfect. I've just added my contacts. So I'm going to search for myself here. So here is the contact I just added, Nicholas A. Core. And then you can see, since I added my address, it says subscribe to Neighborhood Forest Hills, and I'll scroll down. So I have a 92% health score. So remember, it's 20% for the 4 major pieces of information: your name, phone number, email address, and mailing address. And then 4% health score for every other piece of information. So I have my name. Here are my tags that I've added, my phone number, email address. And then here, it shows my neighborhood based on my mailing address. So here I have my home address. So it's automatically going to assign Forest Hills as my neighborhood, which is correct. This is all based off of Nextdoor data. Let's say you're working with a contact and they say, oh yeah, I currently live in Horseshoe Bend in Roswell, but I'm really interested in moving to Rivermont. You could add Rivermont to, I don't know why that's not showing. Let's see. You could add another neighborhood. Let's try Country Club of the South. If I could spell. What? Okay, well, these are not, well, it's not showing when I try to type it in. So let's try to find it on a map. So let's say they're interested in another neighborhood. I want to come over here. I can start searching for in Roswell. Oh, I don't want to select this. All right. Here is Holcomb Bridge Road. We're scrolling down. Here's Country Club of the South. Click over it. I can select that and hit save. And now it'll add Country Club of the South to my list of neighborhoods. So now I have Forest Hills and Country Club of the South because I currently live in Forest Hills, but I'm interested in Country Club of the South. And then I have a landing page that I can share with them. So I can click preview here. And this is a link that I was telling you earlier, the neighborhood website that you could share with the contact and they can bookmark it and it will always provide the most updated information. So this is that preview of a link. So this shows me Forest Hills. Here's a map of Forest Hills. Here's all the listings. Now I do realize that this is a duplicate listing because right now Labs is working on managing, because in Georgia or Atlanta, we have Georgia MLS and FMLS. So it shows each listing as being unique rather than being the same property. So here's a listing, our list of all the active homes for sale. You can scroll down. And if they see anything they like, they can send me a quick note. So here's Forest Hills, but then I can, up here has Country Club of the South. So again, here's a map. Here's a listing, or here's all the listings that are in the neighborhood. And they can send a note. So they could save this, your contact could save this URL, and that way they can keep an eye on everything that's going on in their current neighborhood, so they can find out what's going to be the right time for them to move, and they can keep an eye on what's for sale in their dream neighborhood as well. So that is right here, the preview button, and you can copy that link here below the picture of the map here. And you can see on the timeline over here to the right, it showed subscribe to the Country Club of the South neighborhood. Scrolling down, you can see here's the property address, birthday, home anniversary, company, and realtor, my job title. Any information on this contact card and adding contacts into command manually? All right, so within the contact card, which is our current page, we have a lot of information and a lot of options. In the top right-hand corner, within that contact card, you have add to smart plan. So smart plans are going to be our touch plan. So we have 36 touch, 8x8s, neighborhood monthly nurtures, a bunch of different smart plans that you can add so that way you can automatically send information to those contacts. So when you were in a contact card, you could add them directly to a smart plan. You can edit the contact. So you just click here. Anywhere that there's a pencil within command, you can click it and it's an edit. You just hit save. And then to the right here, you have the archive box. So this is what I was telling you earlier, that if you click this archive, it'll, confirm you want to archive, you'd click archive, and then it would send this contact into that archive list within settings. And then from there, I'd have to select it and then hit delete permanently. And then it would get it out of the system. So going through the information on the right-hand side, you can see here is our timeline. And the timeline is going to show every piece of information with that contact. So anytime I add them to a new neighborhood, I update their email address. And since I've connected my Gmail, my Google Calendar, anytime I send an email to or from this contact, it'll show an email here that you can click on. Actually, let me come over here and I will show you. So here is a timeline. So this is for the other contact I've created for myself. Scroll down, you can see here are text messages that I've sent using Twilio for my Twilio below. And here's an email. So I've connected my Gmail account so I can click view email. And I guess it'll open up my email. It's supposed to just open up a quick window that shows the email that's added there. But you can see here, viewed a listing. So on the app, so if your contact has connected their app, you can see the listings that they've looked at, the saved searches, the text messages that I've sent, the text messages that I've received. So this timeline really is just a quick overview of all of the interactions and activity that you have added and done with this contact. So that way you know exactly when the last contact was, what the conversation was about, help manage that relationship. So then when you come back to this contact, you can say, oh, last time we emailed, it was about this listing in Roswell. So now when I call them and say, hey, are you still looking in Roswell? Are you interested? Let me know. Let's set up some showings for this weekend. And you can sort this activity by date range. So if you want to look for just May activity or April activity, and you can also search by different types of activity. So if I want to look at just calendar events or just outgoing SMSs, that way you can more easily find the exact information you're looking for. And if I want to add an activity, you can click on the add button here. And so let's say you give them a phone call, you want to make note that you called them. So you can say called and discussed search parameters in Roswell. You can create this note. You can update the date. So let's say I actually called yesterday, and then boom, click save. Or you can come in here and you can say left voicemail. And then down here it has the option to click has responded. So you would want that way if they called you back, you'd want to click has responded, and you click save here. You can also click this plus sign button in the bottom right hand corner, and then you can add an activity, the same what we were just doing. I would recommend that if you are sending birthday cards or sending notes, you can select interaction type as text, even though it's not a text message. This would probably be the best sent birthday card. And then I will select March 14th since that's my birthday. And then boom, click save. And then if I scroll down to March 14th, I probably shouldn't have changed the date to March 14th. You can see sent birthday card on March 14th. So yeah, so if you click the add button here, you can add a new activity. You can add a note. So a note is just going to be new note, really likes pizza. Favorite pizza place is Antico. Boom. So I can add a note here that it's going to be a reminder that I really like pizza. So when we're out showing homes, let's say when we're in Midtown, hey, let's go to Antico for pizza after we look at homes. Boom. Perfect. Save. I now added a note. Here you go. So that's how you add a note. And then here's to add a calendar event. And if you click on it, it's going to open up my Google Calendar. So that's how you add a calendar invite there. Then to the right of timeline, we have opportunities. So opportunities, like I mentioned earlier, are going to be that sales funnel process. So as soon as you meet someone and you start having real estate conversations with them, so if you meet them at a party or an open house or a Facebook lead, you can add them and create that opportunity. And that's going to help manage you from that introduction all the way to closing. So if you've added them to an opportunity, it'll show here. It'll show all the opportunities, and you can create an opportunity. So let's say I know I just talked to Nick yesterday. I want to create an opportunity because we're now getting started on the sales process. And then you can start an opportunity directly from this contact card. And just fill in all the information and click create. To the right of that is going to be smart plans. So if you've set up smart plans, you can add them directly here. So you can click add to smart plan, and then you can select all of the smart plans that you have created or set up. So I can do my bi-weekly neighborhood nurture and hit select. And then you can hit start now, or you can select start on the following date. So if you want, let's say you want to set up a bunch of people on smart plans, but you don't want them all to go out right now, you can set it to start, let's say this Friday, and then click confirm, and it would add that contact to that smart plan. It'll also show a list of all the smart plans that they are subscribed to here. The next to the right is tasks. So tasks is going to be, let's say I had a conversation with Nick last week, and he's getting ready to sell his house. So you can add a task, and you want to remind yourself to create a CMA. So create CMA for listing presentation. And I need to do that tomorrow. So I'll select tomorrow's date, description, CMA for listing presentation scheduled for, let's see, it was Friday the 29th. But I need to get that CMA done today. So I will click create a CMA, add in my date, and click create task. Perfect. Now I've created a task, and this will actually show up on my homepage when I log in, so I know I need to do this tomorrow. And then let's say you could snooze it. So if you wanted to snooze, you can adjust. You can add, I can add one day so I can have it be due on the 28th. Or you can archive it. Once you're done, or it's no longer relevant, you can click archive. And then you can click add a task. I guess not from there. So just add task here. And then to the right of that is notes. So here, as I mentioned earlier, I added that note. I did add the note from the plus sign down here. Added a note. But you can see here's my Lily Likes Pizza note. You can add notes, edit. Anywhere there's a pencil within command, you can click it and that'll be edit, or you can archive or delete it. And then to the right is saved searches. Saved searches are going to only show up if this contact has downloaded your mobile app. And these are going to be the saved searches. Well, saved searches from your mobile app, or if they have created an account on your KW agent site. And this will let you know this is the search that they set up and the parameters. So that way I can call them, and I can call Nick and say, hey, I saw that you set up a search for the Glen Ridge area, with looking for 2+ bedrooms, right around that $500,000 price point. What changed from when you were originally thinking about Roswell, or what additional information can you provide about what you're looking for? And you can, have that conversation, and you can keep track of their activity here. How you will know if that contact has downloaded your app is if you have a green check mark next to their name right here. And that is if they've downloaded the app and they use this email address or the one that you have in command to create that account. So that is how you'll know if they've connected or they download the app, and then you'll be able to see their saved searches here on the right-hand side. Any questions about adding a contact manually, information that we've added, as well as any information over here on the right-hand side in the timeline? All right, so we just walked through the process of manually adding the contact and all the information that we have access to within the contact card. I know many of you will actually want to upload a lot of contacts at once. And the way you will do that is through a CSV file. And to do that, you would click import. So when you click import, you can download the pre-made CSV to upload your contacts into the KW command system. You have to download this CSV and fill out the CSV properly to upload it into the system. You can't just download all of your contacts out of your current CRM and then just upload that directly into command. You will have to take each of the columns of information from the download from your current CRM and then paste those into the appropriate columns within this command CSV. That being said, you also are unable to have any commas in this Excel document or in this CSV document, because a CSV means comma separated values. So if you have any commas in that document, it will misinterpret it as it being a new column, and then will throw off all of the data in that worksheet. So make sure that you put all the information in the correct columns, and all that information does not have any commas in it. If there are any commas in it, you will get an error message when you try to upload. So that is how you upload, I think, up to 5,000 contacts at one time. So download the CSV here. And if you have any trouble with that, or you have some more questions on it, let me know, and you and I can walk through adding contacts to that CSV and uploading and making sure everything is uploaded correctly. So now I'm going to head over to tasks so we can talk through tasks before we end this morning's training. But before we do that, I just want to make sure there are no final questions on contacts, adding contacts, any of the information in the contact card, or importing contacts before I head over to tasks. All right. So the next applet we're going to talk through is tasks. And that's going to be the second applet, or I guess the third technically, down. And we'll click on tasks here. And this will show all the tasks that we have to do. So we have contact tasks and opportunity tasks. And right now I have it set to show tasks just for today, but you can edit that. And I'm going to show all my tasks for the next 7 days. So you can see here is a task that I just created a minute ago for create CMA for listing presentation. And I have a contact associated and a due date of tomorrow, status undone. At the top, we have the contact tasks and opportunity tasks. You can click opportunity tasks, and this will show you all the tasks that you have for you that are affiliated with an opportunity. Now in TC03, we will go through step by step, setting up your phases and stages of the sales funnel. And with each stage, you can assign tasks. And here is where you will see all those tasks that are affiliated with that opportunity. So let's say if they are in, excuse me, they are in the home searching state, or the searching stage, it'll automatically have a task of set up an FMLS auto search for them, set up showings, and all those tasks will show up here in the opportunity tasks. Now you can't manually add opportunity tasks in this page. You can only add them within the opportunity itself. So I do want to clarify that. Going back to contact tasks, it defaults to showing just for today, but I'll select next 7 days. So you can see here are my tasks to do. I click on my completed tasks. So these are tasks that I've already done. And then my archive tasks. So if I've completed it and I've archived it, we're done, good to go here. Now, unlike opportunity tasks, for contact tasks, you can create them right here from within this window. To do that, click Create New Task, and then we will just type in what that task name is, creating new task, for example. Similarly to before, we can set a due date. We're going to set it for the 29th. Description, showing example. Now, because we're not adding this task from within the contact card, it's not automatically going to associate a contact with this task, but I want to associate associate a contact. So to do that, click on the Associate Contacts button here in the middle, and then we can search by name. So I can search my name. All right. So I'm going to select this person, myself. This is the contact that I just created, and just click Add Contact. I have a check mark, and then click Associate Contacts. So now I know that this task that I'm adding has to do with this contact, and this task will show up in that contact's timeline. So it's to keep everything connected and show every interaction that I have with that contact. So now I've created my task, click Create Task, and I come over here to show task to do, and it's now added, creating new task, for example. Perfect. So now you can see it. Let's say I want to snooze it. I can come over here and click snooze, and I can add 2 days to where it'll notify me again, or I can snooze until a specific date. So let's say I want to snooze until the 30th. Sorry, come down here. So you want to select the 30th, and then you also need to select a time. So let's do 12 p.m. and then click Apply Date and Time. So now this will snooze me until this coming Saturday, and then click Snooze. And then over here to the right, there's a settings button, but that has not been released yet for use within tasks. So if I come back to my home page, I now have tasks, and it should show all of my tasks. Well, I guess I don't have any tasks. Let me come back here and let me edit this real fast, because it's only showing me my tasks that I have due today. So let me change this real fast. 7 days. Let's edit this. Why is it letting me edit this? Whatever, I'll just create a new task, due date today, new task. I'm just associate contacts, create task, perfect. So due today, perfect. So now I have my task that's due today. I come to my home page, and it now shows that this task is due today. Perfect. And I can create a new task directly from here by clicking that button. Same process as before. And I can also scroll over right here, and I can click on the 3 dots, and I can click snooze, or I can click archive. And you click on it, task preview. So that is tasks. Any questions about tasks that I didn't answer? So Ariel had asked earlier about the opportunity task. Did I clarify your question about the difference between the opportunity tasks and the contact tasks and how to set them up? I'm going to make sure that all those questions are answered. So we are at the end now of our TCO1 training. So we walk through the command system, connect, walk through all of the settings, connecting our apps, setting up our marketing profile. We've gone through and we've added contacts manually, and it showed you how to import contacts and create tasks. So we did a lot of information today. Spend a lot of time on your database. You want to make sure that it is as clean as possible, because that's going to make it much easier for you to organize and manage all those contacts and set up the tasks that you need to do, who you need to be calling, who you need to be emailing, setting up smart plans, managing your opportunities. Everything in the future, everything that you do will be much easier with a cleaner database. So spend a lot of time going through there, adding those custom tags, adding any custom fields, making sure that all that information, the email, phone number, address, name, all that's correct. And that is a great touch too. So if you need to get someone's email address, feel free to give them a call. Let them know, or send them a Facebook message and let them know you're updating your database and you want their most updated information. We have a few more minutes, so I just want to make sure that if you do have any questions, by all means, we still have 7 more minutes, but I want to make sure that you walk away today feeling comfortable in getting started in Command and updating your database. So any questions you have, I'm here to answer them. All right. Well, as you guys are playing around in Command, whether it's within the contacts or tasks or any other part of Command, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Email and text message or phone call are going to be the best ways to get in contact with me. Let me know what questions you have. We can work together to troubleshoot through anything. We can also set up one-on-one time if you want to, so we can walk through anything together. And let me know how I can best help you leveraging Command to help your business. I'm here to help. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk with you all soon. Thank you very much.